Yo, what's poppin', y'all? This your man, Said Wines. Hannibal Bomb on y'all ass. Welcome to the Beats by Said Show, man. You already know I'm Said Wines. Make sure you follow me, man, on all social media platforms. You know what I'm saying? Beats by Said. I am Said Wines. I am CED, WINEZ, man. Listen, we got a special guest in the building. This is my dog, man. Listen, we go
What's
back
up,
to
man?
Seapote days, man.
Yes, sir.
Seapote. You know what I mean?
Sir.
My boy, my partner. Hey, hold on. Grammy-nominated
Yes,
Music
sir.
Educator.
Of course.
Hey, man, hello ball on that, dog.
Boom, boom. You got to drop one more for that. Boom, boom, boom.
Boom, right there.
There we go.
That's what I'm talking about, man.
There we go.
TYRON TWiZ Williams, man. What's poppin', bro? What's good? What's going on?
Man, I'm cooling, man. And it's a pleasure to be here in the building, man. And I'm loving what you're doing with the platform, man. We go way back. So this is an honor, and I'm excited.
Yeah, that's what's up, man. Matter of fact, let's go back. Let's go back to Savannah, Seaport. And
Yes, sir.
how I met TWiZ, we played football together. That's the first time I met him.
Semi-pro, man.
Semi-pro, we was playing football, man. And you was working at E93, right?
Yeah.
You was working E93 down there in Savannah. So tell us about, your humble beginnings, you know what I'm saying? And then we're gonna come back into the present day.
Yeah, absolutely. I've been doing music since I was probably like high school age, just like anybody else. I ended up like my freshman year, I ended up getting my first beat machine. And, this is back when we had the karaoke machines. I had the ones with the 2 tape decks, and you could use the tape to record what you did in that. So you played one side, you played your instrumental, and the other side was like your recording tape. And I used to get it in like that. I used to make the beats, record it on the one tape, and then we just recorded over it on the karaoke machine on the other tape until I got my first DAW.
See, I started on the Triton. The Triton
Oh.
LE. I started on the Triton. Then I had a NPC. Someone had gave me an NPC, and I started making music in Savannah. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I started making music in Savannah. And so, how difficult was to make music on hardware? Like a lot of people don't know, man. It was a little bit difficult if you really want to think about it. You know what I'm saying?
Man, listen, number one, it wasn't a lot of storage space like it is now. Like you could do whole projects and store it on there. No, the beat machines back then, like I said, I had a cheap one. One of my homies gave it to me in class. I bought it off him for like $25-$30, so it wasn't nothing super special. But that one right there, you can only do a couple of loops at a time, and then you had to delete it and make space and stuff. So it was hard to do. It was hard to do because you never had anybody to teach you these things. There wasn't so much information. You really had to trial and error back then, for sure.
That's what's up. Yeah, man. I remember on the Triton. I remember I had to track out a beat for somebody, and I had to go into the studio. I had to bring the whole Triton into the studio because all the beats was on the Triton, and only way I was able to record it was like into Cubase and kind of like, and produce it in real time. You know what I'm saying? Make the beat and kind of like break it down. But somebody was like, "Hey, man, bring the board into the studio and we can track everything out." So I had to bring the whole board into the studio and track all the beats out and stuff like that. And yeah, man, it. You know what's funny? At the time, you wouldn't think when you making these beats on the hardware equipment, like, oh, it's not difficult. But when you think about the software now, because I use Reasons 12,
Okay.
And I know FL Studio and stuff. I use FL Studio as well at one point. And you wouldn't think about, like, you know what, man? The way we was making music then was kind of difficult, man.
It was. It was. You really had to have talent for that.
That's a fact.
You had to have talent for that.
And patience.
Oh, definitely patience.
I don't and see, and I saw some of you. I saw a couple of clips on your YouTube page where you was teaching the kids, and I'm pretty sure in your class, like, you were explaining to them, like, yo, the way we used to make music was not as easy as y'all may think. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. That right there, like, I had a student tell me this, and this is to put it in perspective. I had a student tell me they could make a beat in like 2 minutes. I'm like, you a lot. You can't make no beats in 2 minutes. And so they just pulled out nothing but loops, dragged it in, and hit play. I was like, that's not really making beats per se. Like, you didn't create that yourself. Like, you produced it. You know what I mean? You produced it because you put something together and you made a composition, but it didn't come from you. You know, you didn't play the keys to do that. And once we
Facts.
got to that unit and they started doing it, it was like, oh, Mr. Williams, I can't do this. This is way more difficult than what I thought it was. Like, yeah, this is not
That-
microwavable, my guy.
nah, no, it's not. No, it's not, my guy. So okay. So now, explain to the audience now. Now, what made you get into the music on the radio side, on the music industry on the radio side? Because that's pretty much how you started your music business, as far as like music knowledge and industry from
Yeah,
the
absolutely.
from the radio side. So, what made you go into to that side of the industry, and then transition to be an educator in the industry?
Well, the radio station was my first like experience actually being in the industry. I started off as an intern. This was right after I graduated after high school. I'm trying to think about how I ended up getting the internship. I can't even remember. It's been that long. But all I know is we ended up getting the opportunity to go, and we started working little gigs. And the first person I met in there was Trina. Like I didn't even know who. Like I'm like, dang, she looked fine. Like who's that? You know what I'm saying?
Oh, okay, okay. Shout out to Trina. Shout out to Trina.
Yeah.
305.
That's Trina. Like the baddest Trina. Like, yeah, that's her. She's short too. She ain't that tall.
Yeah, she's not
So
that.
that was like my first introduction. In that, and then as I started to do more tasks around the station, and the state, a lot of people just call it E93. The building is called Cumulus. So Cumulus
I didn't
has
know that.
a cluster of radio stations. They got I-95, which is the rock station. They got
Okay.
Kicks 96, that's the country station. You got E93. You got at the time it wasn't called Magic. It was I forgot what it was called back then, but it was the R&B station. And you got a chance to learn from all these different jocks. This is when there was actually personalities in every single station. You know
Yep.
what I'm saying? Now
Yep.
it's more automated, but back then it was like a person in every single station. It was so dope to be in that environment. And after like they did certain things for interns to kind of weed you out. Like we used to have to
Mm.
take like, for instance, you know, when you call in and you're like, I'm a winner, I want free lunch and all that stuff.
Yeah.
They would get the interns to drive the food. Like we had to go to Subway, we had to go to all these different places, all the way in Hinesville, all the way into these different parts of Georgia, and delivering them that stuff. And we had to do grunt work like that and carry the suitcases of the and the crates of the DJ when they go on an
Oh
event.
man.
Yeah, see, they don't know about that. They had to carry crates. They had to have a record for every single song that they were spinning. You know what I'm saying? And we had to
Yeah.
carry the crates. And
Damn.
so,
Yeah.
you know, some people like, oh no, I ain't doing all that, bro. I ain't, you know. So me, I didn't care. I just wanted to be in the rooms with all these people and the big artists and stuff. And then eventually they offered me a job. They was like, hey, you know, we see you working, we see you grinding. Like, would you like to work? Like, yeah. So, and this is how crazy it is now. The first show I
Mm.
had was on a Saturday morning at 6 a.m. So that's what time the show started, 6 a.m. I had to do a blues show. They ain't put me on prime time. They ain't put me on the things. No, you had to do a Saturday morning blues show at 6 a.m. And they was like, do you want the job? And I'm like, well, yeah, you know, I'm going to do it.
Right. Right.
Right. That was probably the most toughest thing because I think I'm straight out of high school. 6 a.m. for a teenager on a Saturday morning, bro.
Ooh, I know you was like, man, what the hell am I doing?
Yes,
I'm
yes.
missing everything.
Missed
Cartoons and all
yeah,
this.
everything, bro, from
X-Men
six to
come on at
10.
10. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. X-Men come on at 10. The whole lineup was right there, and
Right.
but it was dope though because after I did that, then they started sliding me into the primetime slot. So then I started doing, working with like the middays, and then I started working with the evening shows. And this is back when Lil G was doing the radio. And Kenya Kabine and all the
I
big
remember King.
names,
Yeah.
yeah, Kenya Kabine's April Dobbs and all of them, and
Yep.
they took us under the wing and just really like started training me how to learn the business, how to promote, what artists are looking for, what sounds that the industry changes, and I started knowing these different things, and so
Mm.
that actually made me stop going to Savannah State because I started going to Savannah State at the time. At that time, they were just doing it was either radio or TV, but I'm like, you know what? Now that I absorbed all this about the business, I really want to get into the business a little bit more. And then I went to school in Orlando, First Institute, which taught me how
Okay.
to mix more, and it basically gave me the why. Like I knew how to do things, because music, if you're really into it, you'll figure things out. But the school taught me the why. Why do we compress audio? Why do we use the EQ? Why do we do this? Why do we do loops? Why do we create this? And once I learned that, it really was just like, yo, I'm about to be fired. You know what I'm saying? Mixing engineering skills with beats, it was crazy, man.
Yeah,
Um,
that's what's up, man. Man. Hey, man, listen. Hey, man. I give my hats off to all the engineers out there, because I'm no engineer. Even though I know how to mix, you know what I'm
right.
saying, but I'm no engineer. I'm definitely, so I give props to all you engineers out there that said that y'all went to school, went to SAE and with the
Yep.
full sail and stuff like. Hey, man, my hats go off to all y'all. I'm giving y'all a hand clap on that.
For
because
sure.
man, hey, listen, it's tedious work. I'm not gonna tell you no lies. It's tedious work,
It is.
and you have to really enjoy that. You know what I'm saying, in order to get the job done. But it's very important, man. Y'all make a lot of artists sound so great. I
Oh,
mean,
for sure.
sheesh. Now
For sure.
do you with your students, do you also do engineering classes as well, like some kind of engineering, audio engineering teaching them, or you just strictly the education as far as the music
Oh,
industry?
they do the whole thing. So
Oh, okay.
the unique thing about our school, which is really cool, is that freshman year they just do like a sample course. So we kind of do like a sample of everything. They learn how to use GarageBand, because I feel like that's like the easiest DAW to kind of teach
That is.
on
It
that,
is.
to introduce producing. And
Right.
then once they decide they want to do it, then they come and we start teaching them FL Studio, so they'll learn how to make beats, create their own loops, and then they also can play instruments too. So if they know how to do instruments, we teach them how to work with instrumentalists. Teach them how we actually have a
Mm.
recording studio in our classroom. So
Oh, okay.
yeah, it's fire, bro. I'm gonna have to show you some pics. So whenever you come up to New York, bro, I definitely would love to have you and to come swing through.
Yeah,
But
man. See, I remember I was in New York a couple years ago. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
I just ain't had no time, man. But next
all
time when I
good.
come, dog, man, that's the first. I want to definitely
Pull
come
up,
by
man.
and pull up, man, because I definitely want to see what you're doing. Because I was watching your YouTube video on your YouTube channel, and seeing the teacher, how she was speaking highly about you. Now, hold on, dog, hold on. Now, before we get past, how Grammy nominated, dog, Grammy, how
Man,
like what? How did that come about? Congratulations on that, though. You
I
know what I'm
appreciate
saying?
it, man. I appreciate it. That was really dope, man. As I was like teaching this music production and stuff, I actually met. This was during COVID. I met a guy named Clarence Barnes. Clarence
Okay,
Barnes is a real dope dude. He was a radio personality and stuff, so we kind of hit it off. I was hosting Clubhouse. This is when Clubhouse was popping during COVID,
yeah.
and I was hosting little rooms, and he came in and he was like, "Yo, hit me up sometime. We'll chop it up." And so I was just telling him, he's like, I want to know more about what you're doing for music education. I think it's unique. I think it's dope. And I was talking to him about it, and he was like, you can win a Grammy for that. And I was like, for real? He was like, yeah, you didn't know that? He was like, this is the thing. They glorify only the top categories in what we see on TV. But he was like, there's like 2 times as many categories in the Grammys that people don't even know,
What?
or people don't even really pay attention to, because if they actually did a show, a Grammys thing for all the categories, it would be probably a weekend long event. Like it would be really long. There's so many ways you can win a Grammy. It's crazy now that people don't even know. All we know is, oh, you got producer of the year, or you're the artist of the year, da da da. Real talk, those things be sold up by people, by the labels.
Right, right,
Like
right,
real
right.
talk, they're sold up by the labels. You rarely will see an independent artist that's, even if you're popping, you'll rarely see you getting those categories. All right.
That's a
But
fact.
Clarence was just like, yo, there's a music educator, here's the application. Whenever they have their open period, make sure you apply. And I was like, okay, I can apply. So I ended up applying the following year, which was 2022 going into 2023. And you have to have your school send it off. So my principal, Miss Keene, shouts out to Miss Keene, she wrote a recommendation letter and she submitted the paperwork for me to go. And it was like, we'll let you know in a couple months if you made the next cut, to go from that. And I was
Yeah.
like, all right, cool. Honestly, it took so long, I forgot about it. Like I forgot about it. And next thing you know, I got an email, and it was like late. It was like probably around like 9, 10 o'clock at night. Obviously, this is West Coast time. They send stuff, so it was probably like 6 o'clock, 5 o'clock their time.
Hmm.
So I end up looking, and it was like, congratulations, you made it to the next round of the Grammys. This is like a preliminary round, whatever. But if you make it the next round, then you'll technically be like nominated. And so I was like, all right, cool. That's what's up. And so they sent us these things where we had to like film us in the classroom. We had to talk about what we do for the music industry, and we just basically had to just like prove that we are and do what we do.
Okay.
And so I sent my stuff in. A few months go by because this was like they do that in the spring, and then they you'll know for sure around the beginning of the summer time. So like summertime got here, it was like congratulations, you're officially nominated for the next round. We're going to review the rounds over again because there's 4 rounds. I ended up making it to the second to the last, so I went to
Nice.
the semifinals. So I was like one way away from being on the final ballot. So I was kind of blown about that. But the fact that I can put Grammy nominated in front of my name as a title, like that's a blessing, man. I cried, bro. I cried. I told
Oh,
my wife, I was like,
oh, man.
just
Oh,
cry.
about to make me cry, dog. God damn.
Yeah,
That's what's up, man. Hey, man.
yeah, man.
When I read it, I was like, yeah, what? Wait a minute, Grammy. No, wait, hold on, bro. Hold on, man. I said, this man doing big things, man.
Yes,
So
sir.
the trend down. Hold on. Now I remember you mentioned this. You said that because Savannah. See, a lot of people, a lot of people don't know about Savannah, Georgia.
Right.
Savannah, Savannah has grown. I don't know when the last time you've been back to Savannah. Uh,
Springtime.
Springtime. Okay,
Yes,
so
sir.
cause my grandmother she lives in Pooler,
Okay.
so I went back. I was at St. Simon's Island, then I drove to Savannah to go see my grandmother, right, or Pooler, right. And I went into Savannah, right,
Right.
and I was amazed how much it has grown.
Oh, for sure.
It has grown.
It's different.
It doesn't look nothing like what when we was
Oh,
living it. You know what I'm
oh,
saying? Because I lived off of Skidaway Road.
okay.
Skidaway, and I lived on the east side off of Waters
I was about
Ave.
to say you on the east side. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, you know what I'm saying. Over there by the cat bus station. I think it's still there. I think it's
Yeah.
still
Yeah. The
bus
campus
station.
station's today.
I think it's still there. So
Yeah.
I was living like right across the street from it. Now, how was the transition from Savannah to New York, dog? That's a big jump. This not like, okay, you went from
Man.
Savannah to, Jacksonville, Florida. No, no. You went from Savannah to the big, what they call it, the Big
Big
Apple, the
Apple.
city
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
dreams, the
Yeah.
media capital of the world. Dog. You went right into the jungle, dog. So
For sure.
what made you go from Savannah to New York?
Well, actually, like, so this was like around, we moved up here about 2019. So a little bit prior to that, me and my wife, we got married about 2017.
Okay.
And then we took a leap of faith. I was a manager at UPS, and she was working at one of the hair salons, Great Clips, and cutting hair and stuff like that. And so we had a side business. What it was called Doff Media Productions, where we would just do video production work, and we would do like weddings and events and stuff like that.
Okay.
And it was one year, 2018, where business was booming. Like I'm talking about, man, I'm like, yo, we need to take a step off of this and focus more into this business so that way we can grow it. And
Mhm.
we did. And the thing is, we were still pretty much young minded in the business game. We got the money, and then we would spend it. We didn't spend it on crazy things, but we did things like we took our family out to eat. We took
Yeah.
some trips. And we didn't really know about seasons, because the
Okay.
seasons is what it was good. We in the South, so wedding season was like from the time it get warm all the way to like December.
Yeah.
So once December and January hit, we hit some really hard times because we didn't prepare. We didn't prepare or put money aside for the slow months. We just thought that, hey, business was going good, it's going to come. So once that season got here and we didn't really prepare, it got kind of hard, man. And I was just like, I ended up working at Toys R Us for a little while. and I was kind of embarrassed that I was working at Toys R Us because I had this business, everything was good,
Yeah.
and I was like, man, dang, just a few months ago, man, we was good, and now I'm at Toys R Us, and it took one of my friends, Adri, shouts out to Adri. She was just like, Twiz, I respect you even more for working at Toys R Us because he was like, you didn't sit here and just let things. You went and you worked the job just to make sure your family stay afloat, making sure your business stay afloat. So I
Facts.
respect you even more
Facts.
from that. And so I was like, you know what? I appreciate you because that took me out of a slump. And so then after that, I was like, you know what? If I work another job, I want nothing to be just the music industry. That's all I want. I want it to be using my gifts. God bless me to be a creative. I don't want to work for anything else unless it's something that has to do with the gifts that God gave me. And so ended up going on Indeed, and I found this one job. It was like a nonprofit, and it was like they was looking for like a music director. And then once I saw that, I was like, I applied for it. And so during that time, I'm trying to speed up the story. It's a long story, but I'm trying to make it a little bit shorter for you.
Okay. No, you
Um,
go ahead.
all right. So I ended up applying for the job. And so we downsized. We ended up moving with my grandmother in law because I'm like, okay, we're supposed to be moving. The job was in New York. It was showing us, the salary looked pretty decent. I'm like, all right, bet this is the most money I've ever made in my life working a job. So yeah, we was about to, make the jump. Stay with my grandmother in law for a couple months. And then the job was like, all right, they kept pushing the goalposts a little bit to come because it was like, okay, not yet. We're still waiting on funds and stuff to be allocated. Not yet.
Okay.
This time, when we moved into my grandmother's in-laws house, that was like the end of December. So by the time we really got more serious about the talks, it went until like March. And so we moved. So we ended up traveling up to New York because I'm like, okay, well, if we're going to be moving up there, we need to find a place. At the time, I couldn't take off of work because, if I took off of work, that it was going to really suck because this is us trying to still come out this hole that we was.
Right.
I was only able to take off 3 days.
Man,
So
that's it. There's only Toys R Us give y'all three
bro,
days.
I couldn't afford to take off no more than 3 days. That's how
Come on,
real it
come
was.
on, come on, Toys R Us. Toys R Us.
Hey,
Come on.
hey, listen,
That's
it
why,
wasn't
that's,
even Toys
that's
R
why they
Us.
ain't sitting around. That's why they ain't.
Hey, listen, you know what I'm saying? I couldn't afford it. I couldn't afford not to take so many days off. That's how tight it was. Like if I took
Got you. Got you.
that much days off, it wasn't happening. And so we came up here. I stayed with my aunt, and we were just looking. We was checking the different boroughs, and people was laughing like, "Yo, you're not about to find a place in New York in 3 days. You know how big New York is."
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so we my wife and I, we looked in almost every borough. We couldn't find nothing. The third day we looked, we couldn't find nothing. I was just like, it must be just ain't meant for us to move up here and try to figure it out. And so literally we was about to get on the highway, and then one of the guys called and was like, hey, are you still interested in looking for a place to stay? Like, you interested in coming to stay here? We went here, we checked the place out. Obviously, New York, their apartments and their houses and stuff is a lot smaller than
Yeah.
how it is in the South.
Yeah.
And we had a
Yeah.
Southern mentality coming in here. We were like, oh dang, this ain't nothing like the South. We expecting to have like bigger rooms and bigger stuff like
Hmm.
that. And so we took the application, about to leave, and then I was like, I don't know if I want to stay there or not. And we pulled to the end of the block where we was at. My wife said, pull the car over. I was like, what's up? She was like, we prayed and we were said that we were going to find a place within 3 days. And this is the only place that hit us back. What are we
Mm.
going to do? So I looked at her.
Mm.
She looked at me. I was like, all right. We turned back around. It was like, all right, we'll take it. Ended up moving, ended up paying the rent and stuff like that. And the move got up here, or right before we ended up moving, the job that I was supposed to get fell through. Like it didn't even, what I'm
Damn.
saying? It even, yeah, you feel
Damn.
me? It fell through,
Damn.
bro. And so my wife gave me that look again. She was like, okay, well, we done paid for the deposit. We done paid the first month rent. We done paid for the moving truck. I done paid for some of my homies' tickets to fly to help us
Yeah.
move. Like we done invested all this bread in. And she was like, well, do you want to stay? Do you want to dip? I'm like, man, we done invested too much money. And so we just took a leap of faith. We had a Penske truck, came up here, and I had a summer gig that I worked, but that fall I ain't had no job. Like, you know what I'm saying? That fall I
Yeah.
ain't had no job. So we just registered I'm sorry this is long, but I'm getting
No,
here.
you
It's
good,
almost to
you
the
good,
end.
you good, you good. This is the story, dog. This is the
Hey,
story. You know what I'm saying?
this is real. This is how real it was. And so we ended up registering my daughter in a school that was like probably 10 minutes up the street from me. And the crazy thing about New York, there was this building that had more. The building that she had went to school in, it had more than one school in it. It was like 5, 6 schools in it, but I didn't know at the time, right? I just
Man,
knew that was the school that I just registered my daughter in. And once I came back home, I ended up going on Indeed. That's the site right there.
that's right there, boys. Shout out to Indeed.
Shout out
Had
to
no bomb
Indeed.
for the Indeed.
Facts. I went on Indeed and I ended up seeing that it was a school looking for a music teacher to teach music production and audio engineering stuff, and
Mm,
building a studio because they was in the process of building a studio in their classroom. So I'm like, yo, that's right up my alley.
that's right up the
So
alley, dog.
I submit my application and then I put in a GPS and I look and I'm like, yo, it's 10 minutes from the crib. I'm like, oh, bet. Let me see what it is. So we drive up there and it's the same building that I just finished registering my daughter in. So I go into the building and I talk to the lady who her name is Mrs. Williams, ironically, to help me. Hey, do you know where this school is at? I'm trying to apply for this job. I just moved up here. This is what I do. I love music. I love working with kids. Da 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 da. And she was like, "Yo, I'll take you to the school." And so we was about to go up the stairs. She looked at me. She's like, "Yo, this is your lucky day." I was like, "Why?" She's like, "The principal is right there, sitting at a desk at the bottom of the stairs."
Ooh.
Right. I go to the principal. This is Miss Keene. This is my principal who referred me for the Grammy. So this is full circle. I go talk to her.
Salute to Miss King. Had no
Straight
bomb
up.
for Miss King.
Shouts out to her, bro. I talked to her and I'm like, yo, I'm here to apply for the job, da 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 da. And she freezes and looks at me and I'm like, yo, what I do? You know what I'm saying? I'm just applying for the job. And she's like, you don't understand how perfect your timing is because the music teacher that we originally was going to roll with moved to Alabama and she did not know how the music department was going to continue with the visits she had. And I'm talking about
Ooh,
alignment, bro.
look at God, dog. Look at the
Bro,
universe, dog.
bro. And,
Everything just lined up, dog.
and the rest was history, dog.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, shoot, man. Shout out to the wifey, man.
Oh
Shoot.
yeah, that's my rock right there.
Heck yeah, man. Shout out to the wifey, man. Shoot, man, I'm
Yeah,
telling you, man, that's what's up, man.
yeah.
That's
I'm
a
sorry I
dope.
was long, but you
Not
had to feel that, bro.
man. Hey, listen, man. That's a great because you know what? If somebody might be out there going through, they
Huh?
might be struggling with the same type of decision, and they hear you talk about it,
We
what
on
you
time.
know.
I'm sorry, my wife.
No,
My
no,
wife
you
told me,
good.
so you ain't tell the whole story. I was like, bro, listen,
He said,
we,
we on
we
the
on the
time
time
limit
like
now.
yeah,
We
we
on
on
the
the
time limit now. We gotta do a part two one day. You know what I'm saying?
time. Yeah,
But nah, people might, somebody might be, listen to this and you know what I mean, and they might be going through the same thing. So, this definitely give them, what I'm saying, give them some motivation. You know what I'm
yeah, for
saying? Some
sure,
motivation
for
and
sure.
inspiration. You know what I mean, and everything like that. I remember you said that New York coming from Savannah, because of course the South is slower.
Yes,
It's
it
slower.
is.
And I remember you mentioned. I don't know if me and you talked about it or you mentioned on social media, but I remember this. I remember this verbatim when you said that New York has taught me how to stay on my toes.
Facts.
You know
Like
what I'm saying?
New York is about that business. Like you can't stay here and not be about your business. You have to move quick. You got to think quick. You got to talk quick. If you don't, you're gonna miss out on so many opportunities if you don't move
Mm,
your feet, bro. And it really sped me up. It really sped me to really be more business minded. And the stuff that I've been blessed with just come from that hustle, man, for sure.
that's what's up, man. Shout out to New York, man. Shout out to New York. Yeah,
Straight
man.
up.
And it's funny because when I went to New York, and people was telling me like, "Hey, said man, when you go to New York, don't stand on the block or stand in the street, stand on the sidewalk and look up at the buildings." Guess what the hell I did?
Look
I
up
stood
here.
on the sidewalk and look up at
Yeah,
the buildings.
it
People were
ain't
like,
that
"Man, get your
bad.
ass out!" No, they were like, "Man, get move, get out the way." I'm like, "Oh shoot, my bad, dog."
That part right there, yeah, yeah, no, you got to keep it moving. You can't
Yeah,
just
yeah.
be.
Man, bruh. That was and that was. I've been in New York before, but I've been upstate, just like Niagara
Oh, that don't
Falls,
even count.
Buffalo.
That
Nah,
don't
nah,
even count.
yeah, bro. They told me that would count. So when I finally went to the actual city, to Manhattan, and was living in Brooklyn and stuff, dog, bruh. It's 90. I don't know, dog. I don't know if I can live there. I don't know if I can live. I don't know if I can live there,
This the
dog.
thing, right? It's cool to live here. It's very different. it's very different to live here, especially if you're not familiar with a lot of things. Like for instance, a lot of the places here they don't have central air. You got window units. That's
Mm-hmm. That
that
sound like
like
Miami. That sound like Miami. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
you
Yeah.
got window units. It gets cold here.
Yeah.
You got this is the most layers that I've ever worn in my entire life. Uh, like the thing about the keys, like you probably put your keys in your regular pocket and then you putting on 3 layers of coats and stuff, and then you
Oh
realize your keys
man.
are at the bottom.
Oh, you can have that. Yeah. You know what, Twiz? You can have that shit.
Yeah,
You can have that
listen,
all day long.
listen.
You can have that.
I don't see how people stay here forever. Like I don't foresee myself staying here forever. Like there's people that don't leave. Like they're like, yo, New York or die. I'm not that die hard, but um,
Yeah. Some people,
yeah.
I know a couple of cats that's from New York. Matter of fact, one of my business partners, he's from Queens. Actually, the artist we got on our label, managed, she's from Queens as well, and they down here in Atlanta, and they said the same thing. They was like, man, after a while, you don't get enough of it. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
it's a lot.
It's a lot. It's a lot going on. But they do say it's a lot of pros too.
It
Of course,
is.
that's everywhere. That's everywhere. It's
Yeah.
a lot of pros. It's a lot of pros too. I know when I went. See, I went to New York during October Halloween time,
Oh, nice.
and it was dope. Yeah, I had a great time. But I've noticed it was a lot of people out there. It was a lot of people out there, and I noticed it was like a couple of folks out there was like got cameras and stuff, like doing media.
Listen,
Like they was doing media and everything. You know what I'm saying? Interviews.
everything is weird. Everything is like here, like you could see an alien walk down the street and a New Yorker would not flinch because you see it all here. You see everything here, bro. We actually shot the video Stole Christmas. If you go on my YouTube page, we shot the video Stole Christmas downtown. We shot it
Uh huh.
downtown. People trying to hop in the video, all kinds of stuff.
Oh, for real?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's that you go on the subways, people performing on the subways, they
Yes.
jamming
Yes.
music. That's a real thing.
Yes.
That's
Yes.
real.
That's I saw. Man, listen. We got on the train. We got on the train. We was going back to the Airbnb in Brooklyn, and it was like 2:30 in the morning. Like 2:30 in the
Hmm.
morning. Dog, it was packed. And
Hmm.
I'm hearing people talking. It was like, oh yeah, man, we finna go to this Halloween party. I was like at 2:30 in the morning. Because Atlanta shuts everything. Shuts down like at 3. Like at
Yeah,
3
like
here,
three.
right?
That's
Yeah,
normal
3.
time.
Yeah, that's normal. Right? It shuts down at 3. City is quiet. Don't stay open late like it used to. Now, of course, I'm from Miami, so things stay open down there by 6, 7 in the morning.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yes, sir. Yes,
But
sir.
I've been here 15 years, so I got accustomed to the style. Things closing early at 3 in the morning.
Right.
So when I'm hearing people talk, like, where all these people going 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning? But they're like, yeah, man, we finna go to a party at 4
Yeah.
o'clock in the morning. I'm like, oh
Yeah.
yeah,
It's just
it,
getting started.
it's just getting started, dog. And then next thing you know, dog, we see the couple Mexican dudes get on a train and start performing.
Hmm. That's normal, bro. That's normal.
They was telling me, man, they was like, yo, this is a normal day in New York. Now, hold on. Now, see, you mentioned the video, bro.
Yeah.
You mentioned the video. Now, hold on. Hold on.
You gotta pull it up.
Yeah. We gonna, I'm gonna pull it up, like, yo, because you gonna have to tell me about this. Hold on. We finna get into this a little bit. Hold on.
Yo,
Let me put you down real quick. Okay.
these full screen that.
Yeah. You see it? Yeah. Now hold on, bro. We finna play this a little bit.
Christmas carols everywhere they playing singing.
We finna go through this just a quick second.
See the lights they twinkling. What they thinking? Open presents got them screaming.
It's Christmas. It's Christmas. It's Christmas. It's
Hold on. Hold on, bro. Hold on. I want to. There you go. Now, hold on. Where did you find the green beard and where did you find this outfit? And you
Man.
got the certified banger on.
Of course.
Where did you find this at?
So this is what happened, right? So the joke about this was I think it came from a Facebook post. Like I
Okay.
seeing people posting about putting up Christmas trees before Thanksgiving. They was doing it like before like Halloween. It was just like, yo, I'm about to put up my Christmas tree. I'm like, man, y'all are bugging. Like, why are y'all putting up your Christmas tree? It's not even Halloween yet. And so people was like, oh, I got my tree. And then people started posting their pictures on my things. I was like, it's something wrong with y'all. And then they was like, man, you just being a Grinch. I was like, oh, okay. I'm a Grinch. Okay. And so I ended up taking that and I was like, I was like, all right, well, how can I turn this and make this to some content? And so I ended up hollering at my homie Jason. And I was like, yo, you mind playing Santa? He was like, no, I don't mind. And so I was like, what would the Grinch say about Christmas time and all these people trying to decorate and celebrate and stuff? So I ended up creating this. And then we wanted to shoot the video. And I was like, yo, I need a Grinch costume. So my wife, shouts out to her again, what she did is we went to Party City and we ended up getting I'm trying to think, I think it was a wig. She ended up getting a green wig and started cutting it up. So like if you notice my Grinch hands, all that is an exfoliating glove, and she glued parts of that wig and stuff on it to make it look like claws and fingers. And then the beard part of the wig, she glued that on to she glued them together and put it like on my face, and we just painted my face green.
That's what's up, dog.
So
what did the kids say? I know the kids. I know they had.
The kids was rolling. Matter of fact, they're actually on the hook. They're on the hook singing. So that's their first like song.
Word. Okay.
Yeah.
Trees in November. Please tell me what is the reason? Claiming that they real, but they trees are fake.
We got the red boots on too.
Everything, bro.
Eight reindeers on a sleigh.
That's my homie Jason right there.
Okay.
Christmas Eve and Gold Star, man, bro, they gotta go.
Hey.
Wake up early with
Like for real. And this is my highest stream song right here, by the way. So
nice, dog. This is so creative, dog. This is so creative, man.
Yeah, for sure, bro. We have fun doing that.
See, no, that be the best videos when you have fun, you know what I'm saying, doing it, dog. Them be the best videos, bro. So
absolutely.
Man, that's so dope, man. I know the kids out. I know your kids had a ball with that, bro.
Oh, they did. They love that track. They play it every year for their friends and stuff. So it's really dope.
That's
to be
what's
able
up.
to do that.
Yeah. Oh, see, you know what? You know, when they get like 22, 23 years old, they were like, man, remember Dad, man, you dressed up as the Grinch and you made that video.
Yep.
Yeah, I wrote. Yeah, man. They go, boy, that's a memory. Boy, they gonna tell their kids about it, dog.
Yeah, they gonna remember that one, bro.
That is so dope, man. Hey, man, Hannibal Bomb for the wife.
Yeah, for
Hannibal
sure.
Bomb for the kids. That's a dope song. Hey, is that song is out on social media, the streaming platforms, or
it's on all platforms, man. That's just the video, so you can look up Stole Christmas on Spotify, iTunes, Apple Music, Amazon Music, whatever you use to listen to your music, bro. That's all on there.
That's what's up. Hey, man, listen, go get that, man. Play that every Christmas.
Every Christmas, bro. I'm trying to get that Mariah Carey money, man.
Man, that's what I'm talking about, man. That's what's up, man. Hey, man, listen, man. Tell everybody where they can find you on all social media platforms and website, all that.
Yeah, for sure. You can log on to my website, certifiedbangers.com. That's certified BANGAS.com. You can go on my YouTube, certifiedbanger100tv.com. There's a bunch of music industry contests. You're trying to grow your brand. I'm putting you on game. You can check me out on IG, TWiZLman56. All right, that's on IG. And then I'm trying to think what else, man. Then if you go on my website, you can find all of that, man. So, certifiedbangers.com.
Certified banger. I like that tag, yo. I mean, certified banger, man. No, that tag is that tag. I remember the tag because I remember hearing it the first time in Savannah when you was when I heard some of your beats, and I was like, man, that damn, I gotta get me a damn tag. So I've been trying to get me a tag for forever until now. Now I got two I use now. Yeah, and one is by DJ Elps, legendary DJ down in Miami. Nice. So he was on a so how I pulled the tag was he was on the on the streaming show. He was doing like review music. He was reviewing the music, and one of the songs I produced for an artist down there named Yoda. So shout out to Yoda, and it was on the show. And he was like, he's like, yo, man, Junkyard NT, this and that, man, dope track, whatever. I said I hear you on the beat. And I said, I hit him in his DM. I said, hey, yo, I'm finna use that said on the beat on the tag. He said, go for it. So I said, shoot, there you go right there. Chop, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? So, and I want to say this before we go, and also the students, man, they should know, they also too need to know, like, if they don't, I'm pretty sure they don't, know as well, like, and I tell every producer, when you sample and chop it up and manipulate sound, you also a sound designer.
Yeah, of course. Absolutely.
Yeah. You are, you are, you are a sound designer. So, I tell a lot of producers too, like, hey man, put that in your title as well. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Definitely,
sure.
'cause that's who you are. You manipulate these sounds, you chopping them up, you putting different sounds in different places and stuff like that. Dog, you a sound designer. That's exactly what sound designer does.
That's
That's
it.
what they do. You know what I'm saying? So, hey man, listen, Beats by Says Show. Shout out to TYRON TWiZ, the producer, Williams. You know what
Yo.
I'm saying? Grammy-nominated music educator. But I mean, listen, I see it. I'm gonna see a Grammy-nominated producer in your future, dog. I already see it, bro.
Let's go, man. I'm trying to get it, man.
Now you're trying to get it. You gonna get it, bro.
Hey,
No,
I appreciate that.
we gonna speak that into
Claim
existence,
it.
dog. Heck yeah, you know what I'm saying. Shout out to
appreciate it.
C-Pope, man. A lot of people don't give Savannah a lot of credit. I don't know why, man. Like, dog, shout out to Seaport, man. I love Savannah. Savannah, that's a second home. That's my home, dog. I started music
for
there.
sure.
I started music there, and I always reference Savannah every chance I get because that's where I started my music career in Savannah.
Yeah,
You know
absolutely.
what I'm saying? So, man, I really appreciate y'all, man. Make sure y'all follow him on all social media platforms and hit up his website. You know what I'm saying? And, man, hey, listen, you in New York, look him up. Stop by. You know what I mean? Learn something.
Holla at
This
me, man.
channel, definitely, man. Learn that networking, learn the music business, all that. He got all that on his channel. Very knowledgeable brother, man. Very knowledgeable in the music industry. You know what I'm saying? He's a father, husband. Shout out to the wifey. You know what I'm saying? Handle a bomb for the wife.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man. But we're going to do a part 2 of this, you know what I'm saying? So we're going to definitely come back, man. And I really appreciate y'all for tuning in, man. So, TWiZ, appreciate you, brother, for tuning in on the show, Beats by Says Show. And, man, make sure y'all stay tuned. Follow us, all right? Deuces.
Let's go.